Alrighty, everyone, welcome. Good afternoon. Today we're going to go through Calendly. I'll show you how to set it up. It's really great for whenever you are doing team building. It does cost $9.99 a month. You get 14 days free. So if you want to try it out for the first 14 days before you pay for it to see if it's something you want to use, you can do so. I don't know how many accounts I have on here already, so I'm going to use this. No, we're not going to use that one. Not going to use that one. All right, so if you have a Google account, it's going to take you to sign up with Google. I'm using this one. When you sign up for Google, it makes it really easy, because you can sign up to a lot of stuff just clicking a few clicks without having to go through. This is going to be your link, essentially. You're going to pick your time zone here. I'm in Central Time right now, so I'm going to hit continue. So this is basic setup stuff. Available hours, available days. You can set this up later. I'll show you how to set this up later. What is your day-to-day? This is really not that important. I just put other. It's not going to affect your setup. All right. So then once you get done, it's very simple. It's very simple to sign up for it. All right, and like I said, it does cost. It is a monthly cost to use the group function. If you just want to use it just for one single one-on-one meeting, it is free. If you want to use it for groups, if you get into team building, like I said before, you'll probably need the group function, and it's going to cost, we'll say $10. I think it's like $9.99 or something after 2 weeks. So what you want to do, once you get to this screen right here, you're going to go to new event type. All right, 101 only allows you to invite one person to that link. So what you want to do, you want to go to group. You want to hit create group, event name. They call it travel agent webinar, 60 minutes. Location is going to be Zoom, but you don't want to link a Zoom. You want to leave it unconnected, because if you connect Zoom, it's going to bring you to your personal Zoom, and then you'll have issues because people will try to log into your personal Zoom and there will be nobody there for the presentation. So don't link your personal Zoom. As far as the description here, this is going to be your description. And I will put this in the chat box as well, if you're following along with me. Take it off there. And this is just the one I use. You can put anything in here. This is just what I use. As I said before, this is going to be your link right here. Your max spots, you put 20, 40, 80. It doesn't matter on max spots. You can pick your color, whatever color you want to be for that day. All right. We're going to hit next. When can people book? You can do 60 days into the future. I don't like doing that. I normally pick within a date range. And I pick, so today the 14th is already over. So I do the 15th or the 17th and I hit apply. And I only do 3 days because you don't want to book people too far out. You want to kind of get them to the presentations sooner than later. So what I do every other day, I'll come in here and I'll update it as I invite to the presentations. All right. Duration, you can put 45 minutes. Sometimes they run longer, sometimes they run shorter. I just put 45 minutes. You can put 60 minutes. Technically, that's what it's supposed to be, is 60 minutes. So just put 60 minutes since our name is already 60 minutes. You want to go to custom hours? Central is my time zone, so that's the one I'm going to put. Now, in order to get these times and things, you will get with your mentor, and your mentor will give you the schedule. Or if you're in team building chats, you will have that already posted in the team building chats. Let me pull up my calendar real quick and I'll show you which calendar and how we use that. Should have pulled it up before. And if you do have any questions while I'm going through this, like I said, just type it in the chat box and then I can try to answer it. That way everybody's on the same pages, setting it up. As soon as I can find this calendar, I'll show y'all. All right, so this is what the calendar looks like. You got beach bosses, you got rising tide, and then if you have someone that needs Spanish, you also have Spanish. This is color coordinated on the schedule, so you can see beach bosses is going to be in black, rising tide is going to be in green, Spanish is going to be in purple. Each one has a different Zoom login information. So if you're going to use beach bosses for that week, then use this Zoom number. If you want to do rising tide, you can use this Zoom number. Now you can set up two different invites and use both of them in the same week if you want to. I just find it easier to just pick one and go with it because you can get kind of confused. You don't want to send people to something that's not there. So I try to stick with just one. If I'm using beach bosses for that week, then that's what I'm going to go with. If I'm using rising tide, then that's the one I'm going to go with. That way I don't have to keep changing the invite links and things like that. So let's see. Monday, I know that presentation I always send to beach bosses, so it's going to be 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then it's going to be 2 p.m., 3 p.m. money. Same thing with Tuesday. And like I said, I got these numbers off of that calendar I just showed you, and I'm basing this off of the beach boss's schedule. So now once I got my dates set up, I'm going to scroll on down. All right. You can leave this at 30 minutes. Invitees, I normally say they can't schedule within 2 hours because whenever we set up our reminders, you send out a reminder in an hour and at 10 minutes. So I give them to 2 hours. That way they can. That way they have time if they do want to join, and they can do so. You want to leave this on automatic because you want them to be able to select. You want it to select their time zone. You don't want it to lock and set to your time zone. Then you got to keep up with who's going where and send out reminders. So let it automatically detect their time zone. And right here, you can put the same number as you used before, is 40. So remember, that's very important that you want to put automatic on this. Because if not, it will mess it all up. And then same thing with this right here. You want to put this as Pacific US Canada, because that's the time that the presentations, all presentations are in Pacific time. So you want to select Pacific time here, make sure that's Pacific time, because there's other Pacific times in here. I've made the mistake before of putting the wrong Pacific time and then people couldn't join or people wasn't getting the invites right. So as long as that's Pacific and you got automatically detect down here, you should be good to go. All right, now once you do that, you're going to go next. Now, that's the calendar. We set up the calendar already. All right, now we're going to go to workflows. Like I said, you do have to pay for it, so you might as well use workflows. Let me see if it's going to let me set it up. You might not be able to use workflows until you actually pay for it. Yeah, I think this is a function that you get to use whenever you actually do pay for it. So that's fine. You can go down here to notifications, cancellation policy. All right. Email reminders. You want to turn this on. You want to do personalize. Event name. Now you have to highlight one of these boxes in order to delete it. You just got to highlight one and then you can delete all of it. Put travel agent. All right. So this is where you want to put your. This is where you want to put your Zoom login information. Now here, after this, you want to put the Zoom link. So you want to copy this right here, and you want to put this here. That way it takes them to Zoom, but you're not linking them to anything. You don't want to link them to anything. You just want to take them to the website so they can either download it or they can log in on the web browser. You want to put your web ID here, your Zoom ID. I will put it like that so they can see it. You try to abbreviate things, people, it seems to cause a problem. So I would just spell it out, put it where they can easily see it. All right, now our next thing is timing of when you want this to go out. You want this to go out 1 hour before, and that way they know that they have an hour before it starts. Now, whenever you use workflows, you can set up multiple notifications. You can only set up one notification with email reminders on here, and you can only set it for an hour before. So we'll leave that there, all right? I'll switch over to my other account when I get done with this one, and then I'll show you other workflows. And that way, when you start paying for it, it's essentially setting up the same way. Except for you get a little more options, like you can send out text messages and things like that automatically from you. Now your email follow-up, you want to go to personalized. Of course, you got to turn it on. I just left this for thank you for your time. And I did update this a little bit since last time I've done this. But this is going to be what you want to put. So it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. I'd leave a little space right there. Same thing with the webinar. I'll always include the video in there. So here's going to be your link for them to sign up. Now, in order to get your link, you need to go log into your back office and go to your travel your travel site. Once you go to your travel site, you will get once you go here, you go to interested in becoming a travel agent. Now you copy this link. This link is your link to invite people to sign up. So that's why here I put in big letters of parentheses to take mine out and to put yours there. I will put this in the chat box so y'all can copy it if you are following along, and you will see where I put my notes in there so you know what to change. Don't use my link, use your own. This webinar, I think there's an updated webinar from Justin that I use here just in the event. Sometimes people have questions or they want to go back and rewatch something. If they do, you want to give them the option to do so. You don't necessarily want to make them go back to another live presentation if they don't need to. Now, if they ask you too many questions, or if they seem like they just don't understand, then yeah, of course, send them back to the live one. Down here, you put your contact information. Like I said, not mine. I pasted mine in the chat box, but put your own. So I'll put my email address, my phone number, and then I just do a simple regards. You don't want all these spaces either. It doesn't taste right. And you want to set this minutes after. You don't want it an hour after. You want it 1 minute after that presentation ends. Text reminders, like I said, you got to pay for. I will show you on mine. The text reminders and things is pretty much the same. And other than that, you save it. Now your mentor is probably going to be working with you whenever you set this up, or if you have any questions, send them your link to let them look at it. So you always want to go check. You want to check your link. So you see these are in blue and these are all grayed out. So you go to the 15th, I got 10 and I got 4 because it's 8 a.m. Pacific time. So it's going to be 10 a.m. my time. Same thing with this, it's 2 p.m. Pacific, but my time is 1600. So, well, 2 p.m. So you always want to go check, and this is how you check yourself and make sure that your thing. See, I didn't update. I didn't save Wednesday. See, I only went in and changed these two. So now I know I need to go back in and change this because you see all these times show up. We don't want all those times to show up. So what you're going to do if you got to fix something, you go back to when can people book, and then you want to go down. You see this right here. This is the one that's messed up. So again, you want to go look at your calendar and make sure that you got the right times and dates. I think I've invited enough people at this point that I know the times and dates. And there's also later ones. There's also at 6 p.m. ones, but I don't invite anybody because I'm old and I'm asleep by then. So I ain't got time to have people signing up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I don't invite people to the evening ones anymore. You'll learn as you build more. You'll learn the dates and times that you want to use that works better for you, especially whenever I'm in Dubai, because that last one is 5 o'clock in the morning. So now you see I fixed it. Now my other times are right. Now, so tomorrow I'll come back and then I'll add the 18th. And then the next day I'll come in and add the 19th. So as the days go, I add 1 day. Every day, 1 day passes, 1 day gets added. I always keep it at 3 because, like I said, you don't want to space it out too far. And other than that, that's pretty much how you set it up. Very simple, but it is very easy to mess up. So you want to be careful and make sure that you have everything correct. Then you can go back whenever you want to invite people to this presentation. You see how it shows up right here. You see how this is one-on-one, this is one-on-one, this is one-on-one. This one says group. You want to make sure that it says group is the one that you're inviting people to. Because like I said, if you don't use group, you can only invite one. So make sure you use group. And if you want to invite people, you can do copy link or you can share it. It's up to you. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to stop the recording now and then I will, y'all can unmute. The other one. All right, so for workflows, you want to click on workflows. Now, workflows is pretty much just like setting up the notifications, but except it's a little bit more detailed. So you want to go to email reminder to invitee. You want to do edit. So this one I have set, this is my 10-minute one. This is the one I set for 10 minutes. Now you can change this by hitting here. You select before event starts, 10 minutes, you're done. You also want to send out an email. I put my business email up here. You want to do custom template. Same thing as before. Travel agent webinar. Same thing. I put the Zoom link. I put the information here. You also want to include cancel and reschedule links because you do have people that will cancel and reschedule. You hit done on that. Same thing with text message. You want to hit edit, custom, very short, very simple. I give them the Zoom. The Zoom link doesn't work with text messages, but I still put the join Zoom there so they know to go to Zoom. And then I'll put the login information there. And that's how you do it 10 minutes before. All right. Now, these are my different meetings. So you want to make sure you have the meeting that you're using here. You want to hit apply, workflow name. You can leave it like that. You hit save. And be careful whenever you do this because any little thing can mess up your invites. Normally, I don't use mine to show things, but I'm not paying for the other ones to show. So then thank you email. Same thing. You want to make sure that you have your travel agent webinar selected there. I send mine out for 45 minutes after the event starts. And like I said, sometimes they start early. I mean, they end early. Sometimes they are long. You can change it. You can do event ends. That will put it at the 60 minutes. Or like I said, I just put it, I put it when it 45 minutes after it starts. Same thing with the email. I do email and text message for this. I'll put thank you for attending. I give them a little rundown if they wish to sign up here. This one looks a little different from my other ones. Like I said before, I redid it. I give them the option to watch it or reschedule down here. My contact information. Same thing with the text message. Pretty short, pretty brief. They do limit the words you can use here. So you want to do custom template here. And then I put my phone number. So that way, if they didn't get my email or something happened, they do have my phone number. And then this is my 1 hour reminder before it starts. Same thing, I named it. I check and make sure that it says travel agent webinar here, so it's applied to the right one. 1 hour before it starts, you can edit this again. You want it 1 hour before it starts. I'll send a text message and I'll send an email. Text message again, very short, very brief. I give them the login and the password. That way, if something happens to an email, they got it. Email, again, same thing. Join the meeting, the Zoom ID. I made sure this was in bold and black because sometimes, for some reason, I was getting messages and things saying they didn't know what the login was. So I made it stand out as much as possible. I couldn't make it any other color than this. So I make them reconfirm. Most times they will reconfirm, and that way you at least have an idea of how many people that you got going. They don't always go, even though they reconfirm it. And then I also, again, include the cancellation and reschedule. And that's it. That's pretty much workflows. And like I said, once you pay for it, you'll be able to unlock it. So this is what my workflows look like. I got 10 minutes before the event starts, 45 minutes after the event starts, 1 hour before the event starts. And to do new workflows, you just click over here. And this is your menu that you're going to get. So your email reminder, that's going to be your 1 hour. Your thank you is going to be 45 minutes, or you can do an hour. It's up to you. And this one you can set up same thing as before. And this is what it's going to look like when you first click on this. And you can do create your own workflow too. So your email reminder, your thank you. This is going to be your 2 that you need to get to 3. And then you can go in here and you can look at scheduled events. You can see this is your schedules. I disabled this one because I got confused. So just make sure you remember which link you're copying. This is going to be your link